After the critical and commercial shortcomings of Life is Strange 2, publisher Square Enix decided to part ways with Don't Nod Entertainment, effectively ending their run with the Life is Strange series and severing the franchise from its original creators. While many view this as a devastating blow the series never recovered from, the grim reality of the situation carried an unexpected silver lining. It freed Don't Nod to craft some of their strongest standalone work yet. Enter Xbox Games Studios. Impressed by Don't Nod's talent for emotionally driven storytelling, they entered a strategic partnership to develop a new narrative-focused, choice-based adventure, and the result is often cited as one of Don't Nod's finest works to date. Tell Me Why follows twin siblings bound not only by tragedy and grief, but by a supernatural connection that links their memories as they unravel the mysterious circumstances surrounding their eccentric mother's death. And though the game stands as one of Don't Nod's most critically celebrated releases, its exclusion from PlayStation and startling lack of promotion left it an underappreciated masterpiece, quietly lost to the masses. So today, we will be unearthing the squandered success of Tell Me Why.
Can you tell me what happened tonight?
I went to show her my haircut. She had a gun.
Take your time.
She freaked out.
It's okay.
No, it's not. It's not okay. My mom tried to kill me, so I stabbed her. I killed my mother.
Chapter 1 introduces us to our lead protagonists, Allison and Tyler Ronan. Allison and Tyler are twin siblings who were separated by the system after their mother's death, and they're now meeting for the first time as adults 10 years later. Understandably, Allison is very nervous, and Tyler quite simply doesn't know what to expect. Tyler has spent the last 10 years living at a community center. However, he has spent the last 3 acting as a mentor, which is to say that 3 years previously, he could have gone home, he could have met up with his sister, but he decided to stay. The game starts with you playing as both Allison and Tyler going through their rooms as they prepare to leave. This immediately lets you know that this is a dual protagonist story. You are going to switch back and forth between both, and it gives you a really good feel for who they are.
Is he gonna like this? Or is it too much? Michael and Tyler are so gonna hit it off. It's gonna be so crazy to see him after all these years.
Gonna miss these dum-dums. And he's going places. And I'll be able to say I helped him on his way. Hey, little guy. You're gonna be reunited with your sister soon.
I know I might sound like a broken record, but Don't Nod excels really heavily at environmental storytelling. So starting the chapter by having you be Allison in her room, going around and looking through all her stuff, and then flipping it over to Tyler in his room, going through all of his stuff, is so smart and so easy. And we immediately get a feel for who these people are and what kind of vibe we can expect from this game. Don't Nod is historically known for cozy and cozy adjacent games, and we certainly get some of that in this one. Although the reality of their situation and relationship is not quite at its coziest here. This is Tyler's last day at the center, so Allison is going to go and pick him up, and they are going to return to their childhood home, which neither of them has visited since their mother died. As we saw in that tease, the young version of Tyler confesses that he killed his mother because she attacked him. And as a result, he was sent away to a center instead of getting jail time, and he and Allison have not seen each other in 10 years, although from what we see in both of their rooms, we learn that they have been in strong communication, and we also see that Allison doesn't quite understand why for those last 3 years they didn't just meet.
Hi, Tyler.
Hi. First time we see each other in 10 years, and it's hi, Tyler.
Oh, sorry,
It's fine, Allison. Hi's a good place to start.
God, it's good to see you.
Likewise.
You look good in that.
Thanks. One of my mentees designed it.
So, are you gonna miss anything about this place?
As is often the case with Don't Nod's games, this is a choice-based game. So as you play both Tyler and Allison, you will get to make decisions both in conversation as well as in how you handle specific situations going forward. And your choices in this game will overall affect Allison and Tyler's bond. This is a really unique decision that I highly enjoy about this game, although considering the binary endings, I do have a little bit of a bone to pick with just how binary those endings are, and we will talk about that at the end of chapter 3. This is a 3-chapter story that was released in 3 different parts. I think the length of this game works really well. Part of me kind of wishes that it was longer. However, I do think we get an overall strong story with what we do have. There was more locations than I was expecting for a game of this size, and like I said, Don't Nod is really good at nailing all these different places that they cover. There's so many little moments we get between them in these really unique spaces that work well within the story as well as the environment they choose to tell it in. This story takes place in Alaska, in the fictional town of Delos Crossing. So for Allison and Tyler to return to their childhood home, they must take a ferry. And on that ferry ride, they start to get reacquainted, and we are offered our first major choice. For the past 10 years, Allison has been living with Officer Eddie Brown, who was the one that they called into the night of their mother's death, and who they and their mother already had a relationship with. They used to go fishing with him as a kid. They really liked him. But now Tyler resents him because, well, he's spent the past 7 years having to live at this community center. As far as Tyler sees it, Eddie is the one who effectively severed his and Allison's relationship. But for Allison, this is her parental guardian. This is her, as she says, father figure. Uncle Eddie, as she affectionately calls him, means everything to her. So Uncle Eddie has brought a gift for Allison to offer Tyler. Now, in this game, in this fictional town of Delos Crossing, Eddie is a member of the native Tlingit culture, which is a real tribe that does exist in Alaska. And something that you need to know about Tlingit culture is gift giving is a massively important part of it, not just in the giving of gifts, but in the receival of them. To warmly and openly accept a gift given by a member of Tlingit culture is very important. So this first choice actually has quite a lot of weight to it, which is also interesting because we as the player don't have a ton of context for everything here. So whether Tyler chooses to refuse or accept the ring, I would say, for you being the player, both choices make sense because we know so little at this point. However, the weight of this choice is very big. If you choose to accept the ring, this is the first moment in the game that bonds adult Allison and adult Tyler. Allison is warmed by the fact that Tyler is willing to give things a go with Eddie.
Fine. I'll take it, but I'm not going to wear it.
Really?
Really. Just so we're clear, this was for you, not Chief Brown.
If Tyler refuses to take the ring, Allison will look down upon that because if you actually do choose not to take it, Tyler's reaction is pretty immature, and Allison does call him out on this. I played this game twice for this review, and it was fascinating to see how, especially the larger choices that bond or disconnect the twins, have very different outcomes in how they behave with each other.
Exactly.
Seriously? That was childish. What is wrong with you?
No need to be so dramatic.
I'm the one who's being dramatic. Oh, God.
Did you hear that? So, that was an asshole move.
To put it mildly.
I deserve that. Sorry I tossed the ring.
I'm sorry, too. I just hoped we could wrap everything up with a grand gesture and move on to our perfectly normal lives.
Still your brother?
Still your sister.
Wow. It's basically exactly like I remember it. You think there's a chance whoever buys it will just tear it down?
If someone buys it, they can do whatever they want with it.
You wouldn't care at all?
Would you?
Sure. Everywhere I look, I see a piece of one of our adventures.
Everywhere I look, I just see her.
So Allison and Tyler arrive at the old house to find that they have been locked out. Somebody has changed the locks, which is very surprising to them because as far as they know, nobody's been by the house in years. So setting that mystery aside, they endeavor to try and find some way to get in without having to break the windows. Tyler looks into the window of the garage and starts getting this strange feeling. And then this happens.
What's happening? Do you feel that?
And don't leave this room until everything looks as clean as a whistle. Ugh. Oh, we forgot the key. We need to put it back. Maybe we could hide it somewhere. You know, for fun. Goblins are supposed to help the princess, not play mean tricks. Whatever, you're not fun. I'm only trying not to make her even worse.
Tyler and Allison can actively share and replay memories that they have from their childhood. I find this such a neat mechanic. I did not watch any trailers. I did not watch any reviews before I played this game, so I had no idea what it was about. This was a really cool moment. This was that, oh, this is what the game's about, because I knew that it would be slice of life with a twist of the supernatural, but I did not personally predict it would be this. Being able to actually relive and see an old memory is new territory for them, which is going to be really fun for us to explore as we continue to play. Tyler finds a way in under the house where they used to play, where we also discover this.
Where are you?
Ty, I'm outside, but I can hear you in my head. Her voice, it's back.
Holy shit.
Allison and Tyler have a special connection that actually allows them to psychically talk with each other. This is something that's going to come back heavily when they're trying to figure things out in front of other people. This is great. I really love this. We're really early into the game, and I already feel a very strong sense of connection with both Tyler and Allison, and getting to watch their adult relationship develop after having been separated so long was a very smart decision on Don't Nod's part. I think Don't Nod always brings really strong premises to the table. I do think they are somewhat inconsistent with their execution, but like I said at the start of this video, I think this is one of their strongest ones.
Are you okay?
I'll live. Good to hear your voice again. So, how do we get started?
We figure out what to keep, what to trash, and see what else this house might be trying to show us.
So as Tyler and Allison explore the house, we get to relive a few memories from their childhood, where we also get to see interactions with their mother, Marianne, and we, the audience, begin to learn who this person really was.
Mom? About me joining the hockey team? Mom!
Sorry, what? Not now. Maybe next year.
But you promised!
Keep whining, and my next year will become never.
Can you cut my hair?
Your hair is fine.
But I want to cut it short, really short.
What? Look, I'm tired, and I'm busy. Let's talk about this later.
You always say that.
Marianne said no to everything. Made me so pissed.
She was always on edge those last few months.
Allison and Tyler make their way up to their childhood bedroom where they discover the Book of Goblins. This is a book that their mother helped them create that contains all of these different stories written by both their mother as well as them. The Book of Goblins is a heavy plot point as well as a game mechanic within Tell Me Why, as you are going to use these stories to solve some puzzles. Now, the puzzles in this game are really, really good. They're so strong. I was so happy. I was so impressed with these puzzles. They are, and this is a very hard place to nail, the exact amount of hard. Tyler remembers that his mother took his journal as far as he knows, so they have to get into Marianne's room to recover his diary. But in order to do that, they have to solve a puzzle. Marianne had created a lock on her door that requires matching up 3 symbols that correlate with a story from the Book of Goblins. So what the player has to do is find the correlating story within the book and then match up the aspects of the story that match the visuals on screen. I thought this was really clever, and again, it's not too hard and it's not too easy, which made me feel very accomplished when I got it right. That said, the first time that I played this, I just so happened to have zoned out. I don't know if I was looking at my phone for a second or something, when Allison actually tells you which story from the Book of Goblins this puzzle is referencing. Because when you open the Book of Goblins, it does not open it to the story. You get a verbal cue for which story it is, and then you have to find it within the book. I missed hearing what the name of the story was, so I was just flipping through and being like, I don't know, there's so many things here. And then I just had to like reload the checkpoint and actually hear the cue, and then it wasn't that hard.
And boom, we're in.
Allison and Tyler are apprehensive about entering their mother's room, as they've spent the last 10 years trying to get over the fact that she suddenly attacked Tyler, which resulted in her death. It's left them with so many questions about the kind of person that their mother really was. But as they've been going around the house, talk about Don't Nod's power for environmental storytelling, we really start to get this feel that there's a lot more going on with the mother, because for someone who attacked Tyler and tried to kill him, there are all kinds of clues around the house that shows she might have actually been a very warm, loving, and very caring mother.
She was trying to save the planet way before Al Gore made it cool. You know, if there's one thing you gotta give Marianne, it's that she let us explore our artistic side. I'm so embarrassed for us. Many Da Vinci's we were not.
She saved every drawing we ever did.
I mean, she wrote an entire animated storybook with them. So it's not such a big surprise that as we go through her room, we continue to see more of this evolution of who she really might have been.
Look!
What? Where did you find that?
Look, we gotta be really careful not to overthink this.
But it doesn't make any sense. She was mad, right? She was mad I cut my hair. She attacked me because I cut my hair.
She was mad and she attacked you. We both saw it.
Then what is this shit?
The twins are exceptionally thrown by this revelation, especially Tyler, who is, after all, the one that incited Marianne's rage and had to kill her in self-defense. The scene then transitions into a flashback from that night where we get to learn a little bit more about what went down.
Are you really, really sure? I am. Do it. Here we go. It looks amazing. Really? Yeah. I can't wait to show Mom. She's been so sad lately. More than sad. She's been scary. Thank you, Allison. You don't have to thank me. You're my sister. I feel more like your brother. Brother, sister, we look out for each other.
This moment I find so beautiful and a special one to behold in the video gaming industry. Having a character have this quiet, soft, understated coming out and immediately being understood and accepted. It hits me in the fucking feels, man. The queer representation that we get in Don't Nod has always been incredibly strong, and I feel like this is a great time to mention that for this particular endeavor, Don't Nod actually worked with GLAAD, the USA's leading media advocacy group for queer people and representation in media.
I am a trans woman and I've been playing games for my entire life, so when I hear, that a game has a trans character in it, I feel that sense of bracing myself for what comes next, because I know that in the past it hasn't always been so good. There tends to be fascinations with certain ideas about the trans experience that just aren't true to life. And so I think having Nick and August and myself on this project is going to show through that this is a trans character that is unlike anything we've seen before. And to have not just a major character in a game, but a playable protagonist is just incredible. I think it's gonna change the entire future of what trans representation in gaming is all about.
Young Tyler goes to the shed to show his mother his new haircut, where he finds her in a terrifyingly frantic state.
Mom?
Oh no. No. This is wrong. This is all wrong. Wait! Stop!
Glad we found your diary.
Me too.
I guess she was trying to figure out where you were at.
Yeah, well, she should have asked. I wasn't some goddamn research project. I was her child.
About the book.
Raising your transgender child? Do you even know how rare these books were in 2005? Was she trying to figure out how to support me?
Maybe.
But she wasn't trying. She never...
It doesn't make sense. I know.
The twins now have all kinds of new questions, and this reopens all of those old, horrible wounds. It gives them all kinds of new things to think about, and for the audience, us too. As we just saw in that flashback, there is clearly more going on to Marianne's death than we initially thought. It does not look like Marianne was necessarily trying to kill Tyler. She asked him to stop. She told him to wait. It is clear, however, that something had her extremely agitated. But from what it looks like to us, the audience, it may not have been Tyler. This is one of the larger themes that we're going to explore in this game, which is that memory is not always reliable, and there can be a large difference between memory and the objective truth, and also the fascinating exploration of how our truth is based on memory, and is there a difference between our subjective reality and objective reality. It is a really fascinating, complex, sumptuous idea for a video game to tackle, and I just continue to be impressed that Don't Nod always finds fantastic hooks for their games. Again, sometimes the execution is not always quite up to par with the ideas that it's suggesting, but Tell Me Why, I think overall does a very solid job of exploring what our lives mean in relation to the way that we remember them and how other people may also remember that differently. Tyler and Allison go back inside where they are confronted by this guy. This is Sam. He too was an old friend of the family, but he does not immediately recognize Tyler because he has since transitioned. Now, I was surprised. I was taken aback by the way that this scene went down at first because I did not know that this game might actually openly confront transphobic remarks, but more specifically, when someone who is not necessarily transphobic but uneducated tries to approach the subject. Like this.
Brother? Oh, shit. Huh. I guess I heard about all that, but I never... Damn, you look like a real man.
So do you, Sam.
You know what I mean. I just didn't know they could make a woman look so much like a man.
You know, I'm just trying to be me. It's just who I am.
Well, I've seen a couple of lady transvestites on the TV before, but, I've never seen a dude.
Sam, that's not how you say that.
Say what? Transvestites?
Yes. It's transgender. Transgender men.
I'm sorry.
I think that all things considered, Tyler handled this really well, and we're also going to see a little bit of an evolution with Sam here. This is a really unique thing to capture in a video game, which is when you are someone who is queer, often we become the de facto educator in social situations when we have to deal with non-queer people, especially when they don't quite understand what they're saying is wrong or how it's coming off phobic. Sometimes we have people in our lives that mean well, but they're not educated in that way. So oftentimes we end up being the only queer person in the room, and we have two options. We can rake them over the coals for it, or we can attempt to educate them. In this case, Tyler just states that he is just trying to be his most authentic self, which at the end of the day is something we're essentially all striving for. And we can tell that Sam, who has a lot of love for the twins, wants to work on that. And we are going to see later on that he has worked on it. You can really tell that this game benefited from working with GLAAD, and I'm really, really happy they did. I wish more video games did.
Still aiming to sell the place?
That's the plan. Which, by the way, we need your keys.
Since apparently you went and changed the locks.
Oh yeah, absolutely. This place has got to be full of all kinds of bad memories. But maybe some good ones too?
And now we get to see how Tyler and Allison can secretly use their voice when around other people to consult with each other to try and get more information out of the people that they need.
Allie, can you hear me?
Ty, we can't do this when we're in the middle of talking to someone.
But this is pointless. He's hammered.
Everything okay with you two?
Yes.
No.
Perfect depiction of a sibling relationship in a nutshell. You know, you can always tell when sibling relationships in media are written by people who do or don't have siblings. Him asking that question and Allison responding with yes and Tyler responding with no is so funny and so spot on. As somebody with a myriad of siblings, I can fully confirm that's exactly how it is. Tyler and Allison head into town to pick up groceries at the general store where Allison works at, where they run into Michael, Allison's best friend.
Hey, isn't it your day off?
Yep, we're here as patrons. Tyler, meet Michael. This is the annoying coworker I was telling you about.
I was there for your introduction to marshmallow vodka and wine coolers, and I've only worked my way up to annoying coworker. Rude.
Don't worry, she told me exactly how miserable she'd be in this town without you.
It's so good to finally meet you. The Tyler talk goes on 24/7, so I feel like I already know you.
Michael is moving to Juneau too. We were thinking of being roommates.
Oh, okay.
Thinking about it? You better not be backing out on me. The only thing that gets me up some mornings is marking one more day off the calendar.
Don't worry, she won't. We'll get the house sold, and you guys can move on.
There could be room for you too.
For sure. The more Ronins, the merrier.
We also meet Tom and Tessa, a married couple who own the store. Tom is Allison's boss and is currently running for mayor, and Tessa was actually Marianne's best friend. So Tyler and Allison decide that Tessa would be the person to figure out more information about Marianne, especially about where did this book on raising your transgender child come from. In the store, Allison and Tyler can view a few different memories showing that Marianne, their mother, had a confrontation with Tessa a few months before Marianne died. Although, something really different happens here with this memory. Allison and Tyler have different recollections of how it happened.
Now let's go.
Marianne, can you come here?
Sorry, Tessa, I'm in a bit of a hurry.
Oh, what's your excuse this time? Emergency repairs for the beaver dam?
Tessa, look.
No, I don't want to hear it. I want to talk to you now. Or do I need to start calling in your dads?
Huh. I'd completely forgotten about that.
I remember it, but not exactly like that. Here, let's see if we can call up my version, okay?
Mom? Can we go outside while you and Tessa play cards?
No, there's no time for games today. Just leave the groceries, kids. Let's go.
Don't. Please, let's just talk for a few minutes. Okay?
Okay, we remember that slightly differently. I guess that makes sense. Rashomon, you know? But whatever happened, after that they walked to the counter, and then Marianne lashed out at Tessa, right?
No. Marianne defended us because Tessa got all preachy.
Which is it going to be?
And so players are offered their first major choice in how they choose to piece together the story of their past. Do they choose Allison's version of events, where Tessa was angry and taking Marianne to task? Or do players choose Tyler's version of events, where Marianne was hostile and difficult with Tessa? Choosing to go with Tyler's version of events will bring Allison and Tyler's bond closer together, but choosing to go with Allison's version of events will bring them further apart. This is represented by an on-screen star symbol. When their bond is strengthened, the two stars come together. When it is further separated from each other, they break apart. This is a hallmark of Don't Nod's choice-based games, where they have clever little symbols on screen that give you hints towards the consequences of your chosen actions.
I wish you would have trusted me on this. I really don't think Tessa was being that harsh.
You don't know her. And regardless of who started things, once they were in the office, they both went at it.
What do you think they were arguing about? Me?
Don't know.
So the twins do some investigating around the shop and confront Tessa, and depending on the dialogue choices that you make here, you can either get the full truth of what happened that day out of Tessa, or you can be really combative with her and she will shut you down. This also depends on how you choose to confront the book about raising your transgender child that Marianne had and Tessa's thoughts on this, because it turns out that other pamphlet that we saw was for a conversion therapy camp that Tessa had given to Marianne.
We found a pamphlet for conversion therapy in Marianne's bedroom. I know you. I know how hateful you can...
Did you give her the pamphlet? Is that why you guys fought?
I really have no idea what you're talking about, and I was never cruel to Marianne. I did everything I could to help her, to help you all.
If you're so fucking righteous, why did you dump Marianne when she was at her worst?
I will not be dragged back into this. You need to go, now.
The Virtue Seekers Youth Camp. It was conversion therapy. You told her that Tyler should go there.
Look, you've clearly decided I'm Judas, just like Marianne did. But I was trying to help.
And how did Marianne take your helpful suggestion?
Badly. She wanted to let you be whatever perfect little butterfly was in that cocoon. And yes, we argued about it.
So she was cool with who I was?
She was more than that. She loved you.
What are you thinking?
Just trying to wrap my brain around all that. You know, we might have actually gotten to the truth if you hadn't lashed out at her.
Are you serious right now?
You were on her case the whole time.
Don't turn this on me! It's obvious she's guilty of something, and that's why she doesn't want to talk about it. Oh, that sanctimonious bitch!
Knowing she was trying to protect me before whatever the hell happened that pushed her over the edge, it feels good, Allison.
Hey, look at me. You are allowed to feel however you are feeling about this.
God, I could use a smoke.
You're speaking my language.
For our final scene in Chapter 1, the twins head to the police station to talk to Eddie about the night of their mother's death. And whether or not Tyler chose to accept that ring will alter his behavior towards Eddie.
Tyler Ronan, back in Delos Crossing.
It's good to be back. Yep.
Look at you. I didn't even recognize you at first.
Heard that a lot today, Chief Brown. It's good to be back.
And just look at you. A man grown.
Yep, guess I ate my Wheaties.
The whole clan's so proud of you. How you work with those kids at Fireweed.
We found something in Marianne's room. Things aren't really adding up anymore, and we've got questions. Can we take a look at her file? Maybe we'd see something you didn't.
Her file?
Her case file, or police file, whatever you call it. You keep those pretty much forever, right?
We do, but I can't just pull it out right here, right now.
Are you gonna help us? Or are you gonna be a cop about
Tyler!
this?
No, it's fine. Tyler, I know you resent me, but Fireweed was the best deal I could get you.
I'm not mad about Fireweed, but I may be a little salty you kept my sister away for 7 fucking years. You still think keeping us apart was the right call?
She was traumatized.
And now Allison is faced with the tough choice. Does she side with Eddie for trying to do the right thing? Or does she advocate for Tyler and her upset at them being separated as children?
Look, Uncle, separating us like that did not help me heal. If anything, it was the opposite. Even if he had been dangerous, I'd have taken the risk. Being apart was that miserable.
I didn't know you felt that way, little moose.
Eddie was just doing his best to protect me. To protect his family.
I thought I was your family.
You are. 7 years apart didn't change that. 10 years apart didn't either. But Eddie's family too. Look, we've all fucked up. We've all hurt each other. But isn't that what family's for?
Times like this, I wonder who raised who.
We're gonna stay the night at the old house. We better get going.
Please, Mom. I'm sorry I cut my hair. I won't do it again.
I'm going to kill you!
Mom, please. No, don't do this.
Allison.
I killed her. No, you didn't. I killed her. And when they come, that's what we're gonna tell them.
Something I just want to point out here for the stats at the end. For whatever reason, for the entire game, all 3 chapters, both of my playthroughs, when I finished a chapter, it would not show me the worldwide stats of what players made what choices, I would have to exit back to the main menu and then choose the choices option from the menu. So at the end of each chapter, I did not get to see what choices people made. Don't know if this is an Xbox problem or something, but I did find that frustrating because the world stats are very interesting to me. It also comes as absolutely no surprise to me that all of the most positive choices are overwhelmingly the most chosen ones. You'll see here with these stats, there's really only 2 choices for each thing. It's a total binary. And like 80% of the time or more, players chose the healthier, perhaps more morally correct, more positive decisions. I think that doesn't really bode well for this being a choice-based game because it does kind of create an argument that maybe only one choice is good. So there's that. And now an overly long ad read.
Do you like binge watching TV shows and movies?
Of course you do. That's why you're here. But I know that if you're anything like me, sometimes you feel a little disappointed by the selections that you get with things like Netflix or even some of the stuff that you see on YouTube. That's why I love using ExpressVPN so much. With ExpressVPN, you can get unfettered access to all parts of the internet, including videos that are geoblocked in certain countries. See, you can get to videos. Well, if you change your ExpressVPN, you can access to everything. And there's a lot of geoblocked
I have literally never used ExpressVPN in my life. Let's get back to it.
Once upon a time, in a deep and ancient forest, there lived a pair of crafty goblins.
The crafty goblins did everything together, until one day, when darkness overwhelmed the big wooden house in which they lived.
Blamed for the darkness, Brother Goblin was forced to leave the forest, while his sister had to stay behind.
Years later, they were finally reunited, and together, they decided to confront the darkness in the big wooden house.
Though they sought the help of their friends in the forest, they found that no one wanted to delve into the long-gone past.
This is how the goblins found themselves alone in the woods, trying to discover why darkness had submerged the big wooden house.
Tomorrow we should play Compass and North Star in the woods.
Be sure to wear your hat then.
You be sure to wear your hat.
All right, who wants ice cream?
Me!
This flashback scene in the kitchen I find so unnerving. Seeing this really grim, dark expression on Marianne's face and then turning around and smiling and ask if they want ice cream. Shit. Oh. That is depression in a nutshell. That is when some serious fucking shit is going on in your life and you're doing your best to hold it together. This also shows us something. I'm actually just realizing this now. This is showing us something in a flashback that the twins actually would not be privy to. We, the spectators, get to see that perspective of Marianne, that literal shot. The twins don't. So this only further shows that there was definitely a lot going on with Marianne that the twins weren't fully able to see. Such is the nature when you are a child and you're thinking back on, you're remembering your experiences with your parents. Something that I find so powerful about this game is how our worldview is shaped entirely by our perspective, and how as children, our perspective is narrower, right?
I love you, Mom.
Not me. Just kidding. Love you, Mom.
Mwah. I love you too. Sleep well and dream, my doves.
Allison! Ollie! Allison, help!
This flashback shows us Allison's recollection of the event, and as you can see, there are some stark differences between how Tyler remembered it and how Allison remembered it. In Tyler's version, Marianne was more aggressive and said, "I'm going to kill you." In Allison's version, Marianne said that she was going to be all right before she fell in. You're really going to start to notice a pattern of how Tyler's memories paint his mother as more aggressive, more defensive, and less kind, and Allison's paint her as more receptive, more kind, more loving. And believe me when I say this is going to have a huge effect on how players make some final decisions in Chapter 3.
I killed Mom. I killed her.
Hey. You doing all right?
I thought coming here would be closing a chapter of our lives, you know?
Instead, we've spun off a whole miserable prequel trilogy.
Goblin face is keep, $ is donate or sell, and trash can is, well, trash.
So players are now in charge of Allison, and you have to go around the house putting sticky notes on what you want to keep, what you want to sell, and what you want to trash. This is the kind of stuff I find so useless and trivial. Does choosing to keep something versus choosing to sell it versus choosing to trash it have any outcome on the actual story? No, it's totally trivial. There may be some cosmetic changes at the very end, but it really just doesn't matter. You can choose to keep every single thing, you can choose to trash every single thing, and it barely even changes the conversation that you have. This is one of my critiques of Don't Nod's work, is the choice-based games have this sometimes unhealthy balance of major choices that affect a lot, and then a lot more trivial choices that just give you the illusion of doing something. And also, I know I'm going to sound like a broken record on this one, but I will sing this song until the day I die. I hate chores in video games, and this game has a not fun amount of chores. Any amount of chores is not fun. I don't think anyone loves doing chores in real life. And I know I've said this before, but I will say it one more fucking time. I play video games so I don't have to do chores. And here I am doing chores. All right, I'm done. I feel better. I feel calmer. Let's move on.
I guess it's finally time to take these pictures down.
Yeah, still deciding what to do with them.
I mean, most of them are pretty happy memories.
I guess.
You look cute here.
That's not me. I mean, it is, but...
But...
You remember how I'd spend hours in front of the mirror just gathering all my hair behind my head?
Sure.
Dressed like this, with the long hair, it was like no one could really see me, you know? I was the invisible boy. Damn. Didn't think a picture could throw me like this anymore.
Has therapy helped at all?
Oh, yeah, definitely. My therapist really heard me when I said I was a guy. And she helped me get ready for the reactions I'd get, you know? It's dealing with other people that's been way harder than figuring myself out. At the end of the day, being able to look in the mirror and see Tyler, that's made the biggest difference.
Lasagna!
Finish your salad first. Thank you, Tessa. You're a lifesaver.
Oh, don't worry about it. They're just leftovers from the restaurant.
Tessa really did keep us all fed.
She always tried to take care of everyone. Still does, I guess. Allison, I asked you to clean up the coffee table 3 times already.
Oops, I forgot.
I would just like to say, I played this game twice, and in neither of my gameplays did Tyler ask me to do that, let alone 3 times. I don't know, a bit of cognitive dissonance with this dialogue line, I guess. Tyler and Allison reminisce over some unfinished drawings and stories from the Book of Goblins when Allison starts to notice a pattern. Of course, they always saw themselves as the goblins in the stories and Marianne as the princess, but then they start thinking about, could other characters represent people they also know in real life? So players have to figure out how the moose, the pelican, and the bear are related to Sam, Eddie, and Tessa.
Poor Moose. Really didn't do him justice.
Justice? Kind of ironic, huh?
Considering he was the lawful good one, Pelican.
She was the most generous one.
Yeah, but there was always a catch. The bear was the most helpful one. He was always around.
Stalking her?
What? No.
I mean, he was kinda always there.
You go here. How do you like them apples?
You know, I think you might be onto something. What about these guys? I don't see them being real-life people.
You better hurry, or the Mad Hunter will catch us! We need to hide. This way!
What's going on? I don't know. Is he here? Is he really here?
I'm scared. Go away! Yeah! Go back to the forest!
I forgot about that. We'd been pretending he was there.
And then, suddenly he was.
That was the only time that happened, right?
Okay, that was some freaky shit. The way that it looked at them and then smiled like that really gave me the fucking willies. I enjoy how Don't Nod often has this skill to incorporate the way we view things when we're younger as this kind of magical realism for better and for worse. So in this case, one of the characters from the Book of Goblins, the Mad Hunter, is a figure that seems to have actually corporealized, is that a word? In their childhood, and they're only just remembering it now. So Sam shows up to give them some supplies to help assist in the repairs, and now we get to see that progression of Sam's behavior with Tyler, and we see that he has actually taken it upon himself to do some work here.
So listen, I wanted to apologize for scaring you yesterday.
You didn't. Your shotgun did.
Yeah, Anyway, I also came by to say I fired up the Google and I did some reading. I didn't know the difference between all those words. I mean, never been much of a reader. Huh? But I think I get why what I said was wrong, and I'm real sorry.
This is a really great example of how when we have people in our lives that don't necessarily understand our queer experiences, which means that it's very likely they're also not going to understand the exact terminology or the proper way to phrase things, it's important that we give them space, we give them that room to learn and grow, because then you get a situation like this. This is a little bit of a sidebar here, but as a queer filmmaker who's been in a lot of queer spaces where not necessarily everyone is queer, the worst thing that can happen is if somebody asks a question or says something that is well-intentioned, but perhaps not politically correct. The worst thing that can happen is taking them to task for that and shaming them. Because when someone doesn't understand something, especially something as important as queer identity and the proper way to talk about it, when you shame somebody for that, it can have the effect of only reinforcing that sense of adversity and their avoidance of it. This is a really small, powerful moment in this game that I just wanted to specifically point out because it so echoes real experiences I have had. So Sam shows you where the fuse box is, and you have to solve a mini puzzle to plug in the properly powered fuses so that it doesn't go over 150. I'm explaining this very poorly. It's not that hard, But I hate when games make me feel stupid, and then in retrospect I realize this one was totally on me. I really struggled with this puzzle because I misunderstood the goal here, kinda. Basically, Sam says you have to set all the fuses so that it equals 150 amps, but you can only use the 15 amps for the garage. So my thinking was bottom two each have to be 15, and then the other four have to equal 150. That's already enormously challenging for me because I'm gay, so I don't know basic math. So I'm sitting here like trying to figure out which numbers to combine with which. That's also a joke, by the way. Gay rights. And in getting myself completely lost in, I guess I was a little too focused on the realism of this, I didn't fully read the part of the note where Sam says that he has matched the colors of the fuses with the wires that come out of them. So I literally spent like 10 minutes trying to do this stupid fucking puzzle and then eventually capitulating and looking it up and realizing that all you had to do was match the fuses that are a certain color with the chords that are coming out of them, which you would immediately know if you fully read the note on the right side there, which I guess I didn't. However, I will say there is an aspect of this that totally threw me off. Do you see how when you go to choose a fuse, it gives you the 4 options, 15, 20, 30, and cancel, and each of those is represented by a button on your Xbox controller. Okay, so here's the thing that fucked me up. The buttons of the Xbox controller, their colors don't match up with the colors of the fuses. If you want to select 15, that is the yellow button on the Xbox, but it is not a yellow colored fuse. So it also took me a minute, and this one does make sense, where I had to try and figure out, okay, so it says place 15 amps, and that's a yellow icon, but that doesn't give me a yellow amp, so I had to manually figure out which colors. Now, they could have really easily solved this by actually working with the Xbox layout so that the yellow fuse would be the Y button, which is a yellow icon, right? Follow me? I don't tell me if I'm sounding stupid here. TLDR, this puzzle's not that complicated, but I overcomplicated it.
Seems good. What did you find?
Do you know who that is?
Yeah. That's Carol, Eddie's mom. I've seen other pictures of her, but never this one.
Man, look at Brown. And Marianne. She looks really happy.
Ow!
Broken.
Are you okay? It stings. Let's go see Mom. But she'll get mad. We weren't even... Come on, it's gonna get infected.
The twins follow the memory, which they realize was earlier in the day before Marianne was killed, and they suddenly remembered that Officer Eddie actually showed up that day.
Things were different when she was around. We were family, Eddie. How could you do this to me?
Shh.
Look, I had to make that call.
This is important for 2 reasons. 1, Eddie said that he hadn't seen her in weeks. And 2, the twins again have a very different recollection of this event.
Tearing him up? He was being a total cop, and Marianne got pissed and threw him out. Here, I'm gonna show you what I remember.
I had to make that call. I was just following the law.
What would the law say about this, huh?
Look, I didn't have to come out here, but I did.
You're a goddamn hypocrite. I said get out! Out!
What? She didn't throw the picture at him.
You sure about that? He was being a complete dick.
How can you be sure? We were eavesdropping. We could barely see a thing.
What do you think happened then?
Look, I had to make that call. I was following procedure, what I'm legally required to do.
Then why are you here?
I wanted you to hear it from me.
Please leave.
How do we keep remembering the same things so differently?
It was a long time ago, and, well, memory's a tricky thing.
You're a goddamn hypocrite.
So, we agree. Brown came out here and bullied Marianne the same day she attacked us.
So for the second time, Tyler and Allison have differing recollections of the memory, and then in both of these cases, choosing to side with Tyler to remember his version strengthens Allison and Tyler's bond. It was at this point in playing I started to go, why is it that Allison is always the one who has to choose Tyler's memories, when Tyler's memories are a lot less kind and a lot more aggressive? And my theory is that his memories in retrospect are shaped by the fact that his mother chased him with a gun. And when your mother's life ended in front of you because she was chasing you with a gun because you cut your hair and you're a trans child, it's easy to understand why retroactively your memories can be really sullied. I don't really get in this instance why siding with Tyler's version is the version that brings them closer together. There is a huge conversation to be had about the objective truth of what really went down here, and the game is basically trying to overall make a point that reality is subjective, so there isn't necessarily a canon version. But in my head, Allison's version makes more sense. Officer Eddie was there to try and help them, to try and warn Marianne about something. In Tyler's version, it's a total confrontation and she throws a photo at him. And that doesn't happen at all in Allison's version. That's just my 2 cents, but considering a very large mechanic of this game is they both have differing memories and then you have to choose one, and that will either tear them further apart or bring them closer together. I don't really like the way that you have 2 choices back to back where you have to side with Tyler. I didn't necessarily feel that way. Allison and Tyler go to the police station to talk to Eddie and try and get the truth from him. And before that, there's a bunch of really frankly boring interactions with other people at the office. You know, there's 2 big scenes that take place at the police station, and I do find them pretty dry. So I'm just going to skip over all of that. So knowing they're not going to get the full truth from Eddie, they decide to look at the archive records upstairs. You have to sneak in through the back way. Then there's a mini puzzle where you have to figure out the code. I've talked to death about codes and keys in the Life is Strange games, so I won't harp on about it too much. This one is really easy. And then once you're in there, you have a lot of investigative work to do. I found this puzzle segment pretty engaging to do. At first, it seemed a little overwhelming because you have to find a lot of different files and you can't leave until they're all done, but it's not too hard. Basically, to sum it up, you have to go on the computer and use keyword searches to try and find the corresponding archive files where you learn more and more about what went down, including but not limited to the fact that Marianne had been reported by a few townies about her frantic behavior, and that the reason for Eddie's visit was that Tessa had called Child Protective Services on Marianne for her exceedingly unnerving behavior. My personal 2 cents, I understand that it's easy for Allison and Tyler to hate Tessa for that, but when you really look at everything, including the fact, the biggest one being that Marianne couldn't feed her kids, and that if Tessa wasn't there, they would go without, but that also Marianne was being increasingly awful to Tessa, so Tessa essentially had to cut her off. I think she did the right thing. When you love somebody, when you see people like that you love, Tessa loved Marianne. And Tessa loved those kids, but Marianne was going off the rails and she wasn't working and she was shoving Tessa away, the only one who was keeping them fed. I think that Tessa did the right thing, but I also understand why the twins would not be happy about that. But this explains that meeting with Eddie. Eddie showed up at Marianne's house that day to warn her, and whether that confrontation was Tyler's remembered version or Allison's, the facts are clear. Eddie showed up against protocol, risking his own job to let Marianne know that child services were on their way and they were going to come and take the kids. huge part of the puzzle starts to come together. We now understand that there was a really big inciting incident for Marianne's behavior that night.
Shit. I'm sorry, Tyler. I couldn't stop him. He's coming your way.
Get out.
Uncle, we didn't mean to.
I'm not gonna repeat myself.
You're a goddamn hypocrite.
I said move it.
Hey! Get off me!
You'd rather spend the night here? Come on!
I said don't fucking touch me!
Go on. And consider yourselves lucky you're family.
You're right. Family. And for Allison's sake, we should talk.
The winter before your mother's death was hard. Delos Crossing was snowed in for months. Most roads were closed and plane supplies were scarce.
You're saying Tessa reported our mother because she was having supply issues?
Tessa came to me because she was honestly concerned.
Right.
I was legally required to report Tessa's complaint, even if I didn't agree.
So you took her word for it and called child services?
Failure to provide adequate food, lack of appropriate supervision, inattention to a child's psychological care. Like it or not, she had a case.
Allison confronts Eddie over the fact that he lied about having seen Marianne that day, and Tyler takes him to task for his part in Marianne's downfall, which Eddie does to some point capitulate. There's also a really sweet moment here where Eddie states that he still really wants to work things out as a family with Allison and Tyler. Eddie is really making an effort. But players can also make the choice for Tyler to continue to be angry and aggressive at Eddie, which will only further drive him and Allison apart.
I'm sorry, Eddie. It's not that easy. You're right about one thing, though. It's time we move on. See you around, Chief. I'm open to getting there. But it's gonna take some time before we're a big, happy family.
I respect that. It's hard work rebuilding trust. But you've got a place here whenever you need it. Group hug?
No.
Absolutely not.
The twins head to the general store to confront Tessa, but she isn't there. So while Allison takes a little bit of a break grabbing some groceries, Tyler and Michael take some time to bond. Tyler is tasked with helping Michael do some chores. There is a poster on the wall that references Life is Strange. Very nice.
Hey, you remember the ad for this? What was their slogan again?
Something poetic about time travel and life being weird, I think.
Then they have a little battle throwing plushies at each other. Now, what Don't Nod doesn't excel at is combat game mechanics, and their games very seldom have any kind of combat. That being said, this is barely a mechanic. You hide behind a cover, and then you wait until Michael pops out to hit him with one, and it is extremely easy. And there are 2 places to hide and cover. And me moving to the second place, I literally could not activate Michael doing anything when I even moved to the second cover. And you only have to land 3 shots on him. So this is a nice, cute idea for a scene, but it ends up being really dumb because you don't really do anything. And if you move to that second cover, it doesn't really do anything. You basically have to go back into the first cover for Michael to pop out again. Anyways, after that scene is done, the 2 of them can cozy up on the couch and get to know each other a little bit more. And players are given the option to advance romantic inclinations with Michael or rebuff him.
So, why is it so weird to meet me?
Because I just heard Allison tell your story so many times. She told me everything about you. Fireweed, your transition. I hope that's okay, by the way.
Yeah, It's fine. She asked me first.
Yeah, figures. That lady is thorough and she loves you like crazy.
I know. So, yeah, you were probably the first person to know about it other than Allison.
I'm glad you trusted me. And it's great to finally get to know you in the flesh. You're pretty alright.
But you're not too bad yourself.
I try not to be. Especially around guys I'm trying to impress. So I wasn't blowing smoke when I said you should move to Juneau with us.
No.
I've got a community there. Could be yours too.
Fitting in. There's a concept.
You have no idea how life-saving a chosen family can be.
Why do you care so much if I move to Juneau?
Look, like I said, I want to get to know you.
Because I'm just that fascinating, huh?
Honestly, yeah. You might be one of a kind, Tyler Ronan.
Well, golly gee, Michael. I think you're swell too. You're the cat's pajamas.
Shut up. I've got way better compliments than that. Oh, hey.
I've been standing at that counter for an hour waiting for you two dum-dums to come back. Are you guys ready to go?
So the twins head to the cemetery to find Tessa, and Michael hitches a ride with them to visit his uncle's site. But before they find Tessa, they come across Mary Ann's grave.
Allison.
Is that her?
What the hell was going on with you? What broke?
Why didn't you say anything? We were your goblins. You didn't have to do it all alone.
Tessa?
Kids, I wasn't expecting to see. What are you doing here?
What are you doing here?
Feeling a little guilty, maybe?
The twins find Tessa, and it's revealed that Tessa has been actively tending to Mary Ann's grave since her passing. They confront her about the fact that she reported Mary Ann to social services, and based on your choices, you can either be gracious about it, or you can really call her out for it.
You were worried. And you did what you thought you had to. Typical. Running away when things get tough. I don't buy that Mary Ann pushed you away. You turned your back on her.
I know I've made mistakes. All I can do now is say that I'm sorry. If I could give you back your mother, I would. I don't deserve your forgiveness, especially yours, Tyler. But if there's a place for me in your lives, I'd like to be there.
I have to know something first. Are you good with who I am?
You went through a very challenging time, and anyone could come out on the other side confused. There's help available out there, if you'll take it.
Keep your help.
So that's it then. We're done because I believe something different than you?
Fuck yeah.
No, it's because you don't believe in me.
I pray for guidance. And seeing you standing here in front of me, such a strong and thoughtful young man, I think I have his answer.
That means a lot to me.
Also, in the heat of the moment, Tessa reveals some juicy-ass gossip about Mary Ann. There was even more going on with her that the twins could have never possibly known.
Your mother never wanted to be a part of this community. She always thought she was better than the rest of us. If she just settled down with someone instead of running around with married men, well, just ask Sam Kansky how much better that would have been for everyone.
Wait, what?
Oh, God.
What happened between them?
I wasn't thinking. Please, just forget I said anything.
So I guess we know the story now, huh? Marianne was done with Delos, and Delos was done with her. Maybe she was too proud, but she worked so hard for so long, and when she reached the end of her rope, no one was there to help her. Not even Tessa or Eddie. And when she heard social services was coming, she
Gave up. But killed her kids? Really? I don't know. It still feels like there's something missing, right?
Tyler and Allison return to their home to find that the garage is on fire! It's on fire! Oh, the drama. I don't know why I'm saying it like that. It's on fire, and they see somebody running away from the scene of the crime, but they're not sure who. This leaves them with a shit ton of questions. Who did this, and what could have possibly been in the garage that would have motivated somebody to set it on fire? Was there evidence? Did the person who do this have some kind of a connection with the garage? And what connection do they have to Allison and Tyler? Questions.
There was a guy. He smashed me in the face with the door.
What guy? What did he look like?
I'm not sure. I couldn't see straight, and he was all in black.
God, why would someone try to burn down our barn?
They discover that the assailant was trying to pry something out of the floorboards, so they pop it open and they find a puzzle box made by Marianne. Within the box are 2 letters confirming that Marianne was indeed having an affair with some married man. The first letter talks about how much he's obsessed with her and basically how he knows this is wrong, but he can't stop. Typical. And then the second letter is a lot less fun, is him pushing her to get an abortion. And this is clearly about Tyler and Allison, so they're learning in real time that their mother had an affair with a married man who would be their father, and a huge piece of the puzzle falls into place because Marianne always told them that they had no father, which, considering the kind of person she was, I don't think comes as a surprise to the player, but this is certainly surprising to the twins.
That's everything. What the hell?
So, Marianne hid a box under the barn. Box full of letters from our deadbeat dad.
He turned the whole place upside down and didn't take anything. All he wanted was that box.
And he was willing to burn down the barn to get rid of what was inside. You know what it all means, right?
Yep. That guy had an affair with Marianne, and he just tried to torch the evidence.
He must have heard we were clearing out the house. He was worried we'd find it.
You know, I can't shake the feeling I've seen him here before.
So Allison and Tyler follow their old memories, specifically when Tyler tripped on the ground and saw the Mad Hunter. And in this moment, they realize it was not the Mad Hunter, this fictional character from their book, but rather a real person who witnessed Marianne's death, but did nothing.
No, that was the Mad Hunter.
What? What are you talking about?
That night, I thought I saw the Mad Hunter in the woods, but I guess it was just some asshole. Some asshole who just fucking stood there and watched while our mother chased me with a shotgun.
Do you think it was the same guy?
Maybe. I mean, it had to be him, right?
Tyler wants them to re-explore their memories from the dock to see who the guy was because he had a fight with Marianne that night, but Allison doesn't want to. Allison doesn't want to be taken back to that place where she stabbed her mother. And mini spoiler alert, but there are some serious revelations abound.
We have to take that chance.
But do we really? I mean, someone just tried to burn our barn down.
Yeah, and that means we've got to be close to something.
I'm not going on that dock.
And in this scene, we witness the first major rift between Tyler and Allison. This is unavoidable, no matter what your bond currently is with them.
I just can't keep doing this. Every time we think we understand, something new pops up.
This might be our only shot to figure out who our father is.
Who gives a shit about that asshole? I have a father, and I almost lost him because you won't stop.
Don't blame me because Chief Brown fucked Marianne over. We need to know the truth.
What if I don't want to know the truth, huh? Did you ever consider that? No. You just push and push and...
You have to take responsibility for your part in Marianne's death.
What? How can you say that to me?
I didn't. But I did, right? Earlier, to Eddie. But I swear I didn't just say that to you.
So we can't even trust our own voices now?
This is a fascinating development, which only furthers the idea of how memories can be distorted, memories can be misremembered and misplaced. Tyler didn't really mean to say that to Allison in that moment, but perhaps he had an intruding thought because he said that to Eddie earlier. The memory of it randomly interjected, and because of their voice, their psychic connection, she heard it. He really didn't say that, but he did say it earlier. This is a really great tease for what we're about to experience, and this is one of my favorite moments of the game because oh shit.
Ouch! Watch it! You're stepping on my foot! Can you hear what they're saying?
So you're here to make sure I've been keeping my mouth shut? I don't owe you anything.
You've been a little all over the place lately.
Now, since there's meant to be a mystery aspect to who this person is, I'm really surprised developers didn't distort the voice, because I'm sure you as the player aren't thinking this is going to be a stranger that we've never been introduced before. It has to be somebody we've already met in the game. It would just be so meaningless for it to be some random new party. So, I mean, I'm not going to give it away, but I mean, you can hear the voice clearly. Sort of a dumb decision. I mean, I don't know, that's just me.
I'm sorry. But I'm done.
That's it? You're just giving up, just like that. You can't do this. We owe her.
Marianne is gone, Tyler. And nothing we do is gonna change that.
Don't go, please. You can't keep running from this alley, or it's only gonna get worse.
Ouch! Watch it! You're stepping on my foot! Can you hear what they're saying?
I've never asked you for anything, but right now they need you.
It's not gonna happen.
I've got everything I need to nail your ass in that barn.
And just what do you think happens after that?
What do you mean?
Well, if those kids have a father, you really think there's a court out there that'll let you keep them?
No!
Again, without spoiling it till we get to chapter 3, I am also pretty positive that developers cheated here by using a made-up face and body model for this person to further obfuscate who they are. I am pretty certain what we are looking at is not the same model as the person who it ends up being. Kinda naughty on Don't Nod's part. Couldn't they have just distorted the voice?
If you ever come back here, I'm going to kill you!
Allison?
I'm going to kill you.
No. No, no.
I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill you.
Once upon a time, in a deep and ancient forest, crafty goblins face the truth about the darkness in the big wooden house.
It had come for the wise princess, driving her mad and causing her to attack them.
When they started asking questions about the princess in the darkness, the goblins realized that no one else in the forest wanted to know the truth.
So they dug and searched and asked hurtful questions, learning more about the wise princess than they had ever hoped to.
But the search took its toll. The darkness was proving too much for Sister Goblin, and yet Brother Goblin kept diving deeper and deeper until Sister Goblin finally said, enough.
And that was how the goblins found themselves separated again, hurt and confused, with so many unanswered questions and too many opened wounds. Allison, wake up.
I highly enjoy the surreality of this sequence, but I also wish that you were actually in control of Allison as a player. It would make it a lot more interactive rather than just being an extended 3-ish minute cutscene. When I think of Don't Nod's other games, like The First Life is Strange and Lost Records, they all have interactive, surreal scenes that may have combos of cutscenes, but you also get to control the player and even make some unique choices within those sequences. I really like this, but it also kind of underwhelms in a way. Actually, I think maybe the game would have benefited from more sequences like this, because this feels slightly different in tone to the rest of the game, just slightly.
You killed me.
You killed me!
Chapter 3 finds the twins at odds with each other. After the events of the previous night, Allison went back to Uncle Eddie's and Tyler stayed at the house. I wasn't expecting us to get to see Allison's complete house. We got a little tease of it with her bedroom in the first scene, but considering, it started with her bedroom and then Tyler's bedroom, I kind of figured that'd be it. Seeing Allison and Eddie's entire house is really nice. It's very, very well designed. As I've said a quadrillion times, Don't Nod is so good with environmental design and just the way that they build their interiors, people's bedrooms, people's houses. It not only says so much about who they are, but it also tells you a lot about Don't Nod as developers and how much that shit means to them. So as Allison is trying to go about her regular day, she starts having these really scary, inexplicable visuals and false memories popping out at her.
We were family, Allison? How could you do this to me?
Fuck. I've got to think about something else.
This place was never much more than a bachelor pad, huh? There was so much I planned to do. All those sacrifices I made. And how do you repay me? Lying to my face? You're not my child. My clan deserves better.
Oh, stop it, Allison. Allison, you have to stop torturing yourself.
So I'm not sure exactly what these visions mean. I mean, I know that it's Allison's brain basically torturing herself. It's her worst thoughts come to life. But they're appearing in the way that Tyler and Allison's shared memories do. And also, Tyler does not have a sequence like this. Tyler does not have his visions coming out and the worst things jumping at him. This is exclusive to Allison, just like that dream sequence. And that does feel weirdly uneven to me. I wish this had gone somewhere. I have seen some critique of this game is that it has some setup that lacks payoff. And this is one of those things. I would also say that scene of them as children in the living room and then the Mad Hunter appears, that also doesn't really have payoff because yes, as we've learned, the Mad Hunter was a real person, but no, in that scene, it's not like that real person showed up in their living room and then they confuse him for the Mad Hunter. That's not what happens. And that's what's weird. Because when Tyler falls down and he thinks he sees the Mad Hunter, that's his imagination running wild because it's really somebody there. But the earlier scene where they're in the living room and they see it, that's a complete fabrication, as well as these things that Allison is seeing now. But they're not happening with Tyler. I don't completely understand the whys of this. I'm not going to take it too seriously, but I kind of would like if things like this had followable rules. I definitely think this is a big fault of Don't Nod with some of their creative swings, because as much as I loved the first Life is Strange game, the rules of time travel and the consequences are wildly inconsistent, and as much as I love Lost Records, the whole idea of how the magic and the magic realism and the abyss is all over the place and there's no discernible truth. We kind of get that here too. I can be a little bit more forgiving about this one though, since the idea of memories and how that shapes how we view the world and truth is a factor. I just think it's weird that these scenes are exclusive to Allison. It almost feels like the narrative is trying to hint at something, that Allison has something going on that Tyler doesn't, or that like the delusions they have that are shared are really just Allison's being personified. That's not what's happening at all. So yeah, I don't really get what they were trying to do here other than make something creative that happens while she's at home. Michael and Tom show up with some food for Allison after she called in sick. Very kind of them. No ulterior motives, I'm sure. Tom and Allison have a bit of a conversation on the porch, but looking over it right now, there isn't a single piece of information in it that hasn't already been reiterated. So for the sake of time, I'm just going to... And then now we can actually see her and Michael together, where Michael actually does give some comforting words.
Tyler and I had a fight last night. I was so excited to have him back, but what if 10 years was too much, and we're too different?
I don't think so. You just need to get to know each other again. Start with the small shit. Figure out what each other's favorite foods are, you know? And then build up to the big stuff.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The last few days have been a lot. It's totally okay to be overwhelmed. You're gonna figure it all out. Families are fucked up. They're basically fuck-up factories.
You're right. I just need to relax.
So, maybe this will cheer you up. I think I found the perfect place. Check it out.
Honey, you're really going to give up our home to live in this ugly box?
Fascinating, but what does it mean? What does it all mean?
Look at me. Are you okay?
I'm just... I need to... I just need to sit down.
It's okay. I got you. What's going on?
Right after Marianne died, I had a lot of panic attacks, but nothing exactly like this.
Come here, Allie. I hear you. Okay? I hear you.
Allison confesses that she's not quite ready to face her brother. She doesn't know what'll be waiting for her when she gets there. So Michael offers to go and see him and then also fulfill the promise that he made with Tyler about doing some fishing together. So while Michael goes off to do that, Allison goes back to the police station and we are mistreated to another really boring scene here. This place sucks. It's about as fun as being in a fucking real police station. But I get it, because Allison grew up here, so these people are her family, and it's fun for her, but I can't say that it's fun for me. No, it's really boring, and it's a boring space because it's literally an office space. You know, she has a nice little cute conversation with the one guy who is on his lunch break. She eats some cake that one of them has made. I can't even remember who, the lady friend? I don't know. She has some cake that somebody made. She randomly eavesdrops on an interview that one of the cops is doing. And I was thinking there was going to be a thread to follow here, but there isn't, because this woman is in 2 different scenes at the police station. In the previous scene, Eddie was getting a statement from her. And in this scene, there's like a follow-up. And actually, I mean, there is technically payoff. Basically, there's this thing running in the background where somebody has been like fucking with mailboxes or something. And it turns out she's giving statements over the fact that basically she's finding out that it's a raccoon. And I can't say that I give 2 shits. It's really, you can't even pretend it's vaguely relevant to the plot. And as much as I like when Don't Nod does these little things going on that you can sort of optionally learn, this one does not fucking matter at all. It doesn't speak to anything in the game. You know, if there was a little story like this about Eddie, and we were learning some little journey about Eddie that had payoff, or I don't know, another side character, maybe Michael, that would be great. But having this woman randomly be in 2 scenes, you know, I'm playing this game for the first time and I'm thinking, this is really going to go somewhere. She's giving a statement about what sounds like some kind of an altercation or somebody maybe who's stalking her or something. You know, I couldn't really figure out what was going on. And then you can literally choose to eavesdrop in this scene and the guy will keep trying to tell you to stop listening, but you can keep eavesdropping. And then the culmination of this is at the very end, you, I don't even remember where, you read a paper or something that says, Raccoon Bandit is at it again, or something. And that's genuinely the most interesting thing that happens in this long, drawn-out scene. Don't Nod really has some final act pacing problems in the majority of their games. I thought it was pretty fire in Life is Strange 1. I thought the majority of Chapter 5 in Life is Strange 2 was painfully slow and non-eventful. Kind of felt like the entire episode was just wrapped around that last 20 minutes they were building to. Lost Records is, it's just slow all over the place and then randomly really, really fast at the end. I just wish they'd done something more engaging in this scene, because we already spent a lot of time as Allison going through her house, and it was anecdotally interesting because also we hadn't gone through her house before. This is our 3rd time here. Allison has something of a panic attack, so she goes outside to sit down and she opens her phone where she uses like a meditation breathing app. Very realistic. Some people use those and they're very helpful. So fucking boring as a piece of gameplay. Don't Nod's really not good with mini games, y'all. This is not a strength of theirs. That fucking plushies fight in the back room was absolutely nothing. And this one is just, you literally have to press down on the button at the same time that the circle is either expanding or contracting. And it's a decent enough idea because it's also easy enough, but not super easy. But then it makes you do it 5 times in a row. And after the second time, you're like, boy. Also, she's not following the app. Like, the app is showing her to breathe in and breathe out in sync with the circle. And she does not start breathing normally until you do the 5th time. There's a real sort of ludonarrative dissonance here because it's trying to show that you, the player, have to complete all 5 circles in and out for her to be fully calmed down, and that makes sense, but also the entire time is it showing as the circle expands, you breathe in, and as the circle contracts, you breathe out, or maybe the opposite. She's not even doing what the app is showing, so why would we be doing what the app is telling us to do? Because what we're doing is not controlling her breath. It's stupid. It's a stupid minigame that literally could have just been a cutscene of her using a breathing app, and they could have used that to communicate this is something that she has to have as a go-to because these things happen. Because that's really the only point of this scene. Do you see where I'm making these points about how chapter 3, because I didn't say any of this sort of shit in chapter 1 or chapter 2. Suddenly chapter 3 is crawling, and I don't know why. I don't know if this is just their way of filling time, because this isn't a spoiler alert, but really the action, the meat of chapter 3 is really near the end, which is the exact same thing I'd say about the end of Life is Strange 2 and the end of Lost Records. So maybe there is a little bit of a pattern with their storytelling skills having a weird third act, which is literally the worst place to start getting slow and boring. Eddie comes out and he comforts her. They go back inside, and Allison is offered the opportunity to come clean about what really happened the night of Marianne's death, or to keep that to herself.
I don't know why you've always blamed yourself for that. It wasn't your fault.
That's not true, Uncle. It was me. I was the one who had the scissors.
What? What are you saying?
She was threatening Tyler. So I stabbed her. I killed her. I killed my mother.
Oh yeah, I meant to say this at the start of the video, but aside from the fact that the voice acting in this game is excellent, I was also tickled to find out that 2 of the actors in this are from some of my other all-time favorite games. Their mother, Marianne, is voiced by Emily O'Brien, who was Amelie in Death Stranding, one of my all-time favorite games. She also did voices for Spider-Man 2, Modern Warfare 3, Tomb Raider, Love, Death, and Robots, and Erica Lindbeck, who voices Allison here, giving a stellar performance in this scene, voiced Misty in Cyberpunk, possibly my all-time favorite game, or at least the one I have clocked the most hours of. I think I'm in the 700 to 800 hour mark on this one. She was also Black Cat in Spider-Man 2, another one of my favorite games, and did some voice work in Nier Automata and Jedi Survivor. This is a stacked cast, but it was so neat to find out live in color as I'm playing the game, hey, Marianne sounds like, oh my god, that's the voice of Bridget Strand and Amelie from Death Stranding. And then really early into chapter 1, I kept going, oh, Allison's voice acting is so great, but it's so familiar in a way that I can't place. And finding out that she's Misty in Cyberpunk blew my mind because it's a similar tone, it's a warm delivery, but it's also a very different voice. So yeah, voice acting in this one, 10 out of 10. That is a really consistent thing for Don't Nod, although I definitely had a couple bones to pick with Lost Records. Check out my review on that if you want to get into that. Then Allison heads over to Sam's. Yes, we're still playing as Allison. We're about halfway through chapter 3 and we're still playing as Allison, just going about her day. She's basically here to confront Sam and ask if he's their father. There is really not much of interest or note to say about this scene, so again, for the sake of time, let me just sum it up for you. As was already alleged, Sam has a serious drinking problem. You discover a note by his cousin where basically his cousin did him a favor by giving him a job to fix his boat, and Sam took his money but has not finished the job, and his cousin is sending him a letter saying this is really, really overdue and this favor is turning around on him. So you can tell Sam's not in the best place in his life. There definitely seems to be a narrative that Marianne's death really had a fucked up effect on him. So Sam and Allison go upstairs where he shows her some old photos. We come to understand that Marianne was really close with both him and his wife. And that kind of gives us a clue that when Tessa said Marianne was messing around in somebody else's marriage, that maybe it wasn't Sam. It seemed like Sam's wife and Marianne may have actually been very close once. Allison also sees a photo of Sam building an upstairs loft for the barn, and another piece of the puzzle comes together. It seems that this person who was trying to burn down the barn, as well as taking something out of the floorboards, was maybe also trying to destroy or get at something up there. This is something we're going to come back to when Allison finally fucking goes back to the house. But before then, she confronts Sam about his relationship with Mary Ann, and Sam spills the beans.
Are you our father?
Figured you'd ask me that question someday.
Well?
I wish I was.
What the hell kind of answer is that?
I'm sorry, Ellie. But the man you're looking for, he ain't me.
I know you meant something to her.
You honestly think I would have let you two grow up without a father? I may be a deadbeat, but I'm no coward.
I'm so tired of trying to unravel all of Marianne's fucking secrets. I don't understand her. I want to hate her so much. But I don't even know who she was.
Back at the house, finally, Tyler is trying to reignite the memories they saw last night, but he isn't able to do it alone. Then Michael shows up and they go ice fishing on the lake together. This is a very sweet scene. I'm definitely a Tyler and Michael shipper. I also forgot that this scene also has an awful minigame. Don't nod why. This is not a strength of yours. You have to go fishing. And y'all, we have all been fishing in video games. You know, some of us have been fishing in video games since fucking 1998 with Ocarina of Time. This has got to be one of the worst fishing minigames I've played because you have to do it like 3 times and it also doesn't matter if you catch it or not because it forces you to catch it. And the minigame is exceedingly close to that breathing app game where you basically just have to hold your finger down on the trigger lightly or hard enough to be in the sweet spot that it wants you to. I see what they were trying to do here. They were trying to add some kind of a flavor, something slightly more interesting than Tyler and Michael sit and talk and that's it. But you know what? They also tried to do that with this scene of them in the back room with that terrible mini game throwing plushies at each other. And if you remove that, it's just them sitting in the back room and talking. You see where I'm getting at with this? Why? Why don't nod? Why in chapter 3? Why is chapter 3? And I mean, I'm really coming to this realization now as I'm editing this because overall I really enjoyed playing the game and I kind of ate it up. But wow, a lot of chapter 3 so far I'm realizing I did not vibe with. It builds to a really good finale, so maybe that's why I walked away from things being like, yeah. But now I'm like, yeah. Either way, this scene between them is very nice and it can be very romantic. I really like, if you accept Michael's advances, this really nice little moment they have and this kiss between them. But also, for the sake of seeing everything through, in my second playthrough, I completely rebuffed him. And the scene is kind of the exact same, except you don't kiss, and it just ends with this nice, pretty shot of you two fishing together. A lot of the choices in this game don't have as much variety as you might hope. Really, the big one here is the overall bond between Tyler and Allison. Whether it ends on an overall strong note or an overall weak note determines the ending. Pretty similar to how Life is Strange 2 has a high morality ending and a low morality ending, except that one also had two options for each high and low ending, whereas this one is quite the binary. And, well, I mean, we'll talk about that, well, not too long from now, but I'm not totally fucking pleased with the two ways that this ends. But before then, Allison comes home and they make up, and you know, even if you have an exceptionally low bond with them at this point, their makeup will still be the same. And I gotta say, that does bother me, because the whole game is about them coming closer together, or basically getting further apart from each other. But no matter what you do, Chapter 2 ends with them on a sour note. Chapter 3 starts with them in different places, and then they come together at the same time and essentially apologize in the exact same way, whether they have a high or low bond. What I'm getting at is you only see the consequences of their high or low bond literally at the very fucking end, where I would like to see some consequences of it now, especially because I don't feel like we're being given a lot else at this point in the game. I am really realizing pretty much right now, I am disappointed with Chapter 3. And it's funny because I played this game twice and I didn't think I'd be saying that until now. But now that I'm looking at everything, you know, now that this is basically my fourth time going through, having played the footage twice and then watching it twice, there isn't a lot of sauce here. Tyler and Allison find their way up to the secret loft, and we are introduced to my personal favorite set in this game. Marianne has taken the stories and the drawings from the Book of Goblins, and she has created essentially an entire room of puzzles for the twins to solve. It would appear that Marianne, who, as we well understand by now, certainly had her secrets, also wanted the children at some point to understand her better and to know some of her secrets. But because Marianne is a very unique individual, she has created murals and interactive puzzles that the twins must decode in order to solve a 3-code combination lock that will reveal even more. Cute little idea here. All of the little wood carvings that players can optionally collect through the game as they're hidden all over can be placed on all these little pedestals. I did not get 100% of them, but I was pretty happy that on my first gameplay, I got the vast majority of them. I don't know if anything in particular happens if you put all of them together, but I'm kind of guessing not. So this is a cool visual detail, but I don't think there's any particular payoff for it. Now, these puzzles are, in my humble opinion, really fucking great. They are visually astonishing. Let's get that one out of the way. And really fucking high-key creative. Actually so high-key creative that it's a little hard for me to believe that Marianne did this and did this all herself. Sam said that he helped her build that lock for her door. So I would kind of be thinking that it would definitely take Sam helping her make all this, but from what the text of this game tells us, he didn't. He helped build the loft and the ladder to it and the secret entrance for it, but he definitely didn't supervise her putting together all these murals, which unlock little doors that have a lot of revelations about different people from this game, including himself. So I'm sure that he didn't build this, but I do love it. These puzzles are, just like the vast majority of the other puzzles in this game, the perfect level of hard. These ones also have a really fun interactivity. So for the first one on the wall, you have to discern what differences there are between the drawing that's in the Book of Goblins versus the one on the wall. So this one is fairly straightforward. And what it unlocks is the story of Mary Ann's early childhood and adulthood. Keep in mind that she was very tight-lipped and very cagey about her past. The twins never knew their grandparents, they never knew their father, and they never knew her backstory. And they had always wondered. So in this box, they learn that she had a pet bird that she loved that died, which shows that she was very caring about things from a very early age, had a certain maternal instinct, that she did ballet, that she had a boyfriend when she went to college, but they parted ways, and also that she grew up in a wealthy household. That one's definitely surprising, and the twins don't miss the opportunity to make a comment about how that would have really fucking helped them, considering Mary Ann was, letting them starve at certain points, and if Tessa is to be believed, encouraging them to steal food. The narrative that it's building at here is that Mary Ann had a very fucked up relationship with her parents, that they really may not have been the best to her, and that she had to break away. However, as is the theme of this game, reality is subjective, our memory of things are subjective, and sometimes our memory of our lives can be somewhat divorced from the objective truth. And I personally get the sense that maybe her parents weren't awful, but that Mary Ann has always been an incredibly strong-willed, but perhaps not always the easiest to get along with kind of person. We will never know what the exact impetus of her leaving was. We will never know the exact true nature of their relationship, but what we do know is that Mary Ann walked away from her life completely, and that the twins knew absolutely none of this. So even though we've already discovered so many secrets about Mary Ann, here is another big one. And every one of these interactive puzzles is about to blow the tops off some lids here. The next puzzle involves lining up these images of Mary Ann's mother over the revelations we learned about Mary Ann's younger life from that first one. So basically that she had a bird, that she was a ballerina, that she went into engineering, etc. In this one, we learn about Mary Ann's life after she left home. We learn that she lived on a commune. We learn that for a while she worked at a watch repair shop. We also see a photo of her, Sam, and Sam's wife, and this is where we really understand that they were very close together, and that also, from what it seems, that Sam and his wife were the first friends that Mary Ann made. And then it also shows the house new when she bought it. These are all vital clues for the next puzzle. This one I think is pretty unique in its design, and also mechanically and from an engineering perspective, way the fuck out of Mary Ann's league. You have to have some kind of a degree in something to know how to make this one. You have to look at all the icons of where Mary Ann was in her life and push them in the precise order to make this mechanism unlock. It's a visually really creative puzzle, and again, just the perfect level of hard, but also no fucking way Mary Ann learned how to make this. It lights up, and when you do each moving part in the exact right order, it unlocks the door. This shit would be really hard to make. And I know this game's not thoroughly based in reality, so I'm not exactly complaining about it, but I will say if Sam had made these, I would totally believe it. The guy works on boats, the guy's a mechanic, the guy's very handy, and basically, as we're about to learn, he was pretty obsessed with Mary Ann, meaning she probably could have manipulated him to do anything. I don't know if Mary Ann really was the kind of person who is actively manipulating people in her lives. It's one of those things where, you know, objective reality versus how people remember her, we're not exactly sure. I just think that this all would have made more sense if Sam did help build it, but of course that doesn't make sense here because it has revelations about Sam and other people and other aspects of her lives, and she was an intensely private person. So I guess she just spent a bunch of time on YouTube. Nope, not YouTube. This would have been 2003, 2004. I guess she just borrowed a bunch of engineering and DIY books from the library and sourced all the materials from, I don't know, maybe she stole them from Sam. Who knows? It's a good puzzle. So when they open up this one, they find a lost story from the Book of Goblins that tells them that Marianne was once pregnant before the twins and that she had a miscarriage.
And that was how the princess lost her most precious treasure and her title. That was the story she read us that night.
God, it makes sense now.
Yeah. She got pregnant. And she ran away to start a new life. And then she made her way to Delos Crossing, where she was finally happy. But then the baby died.
I can't even imagine how she must have felt. She left everything behind, built a whole new life for him. And then he was just gone.
I guess having us helped her move on. But when it looked like we were going to be taken away, she snapped. She just couldn't lose any more children. It really wasn't anything we did.
I don't know what I'm supposed to do with all this.
I don't either, but all I wanted was to understand what happened to her. And now I do.
Yeah. We still haven't seen what's in that chest.
If you want to further sever your bond between Allison and Tyler, you can just break it open. If you're an impatient motherfucker who doesn't want to learn puzzles. But whether you break it open or you solve it, you find a baby's blanket and a note from Marianne to the twins saying that she wanted them to discover all of this. And what's even more important here, she called him Ollie, which is to say that she understood and recognized his gender, which is something that he was, of course, very confused about. Another colossal piece of the puzzle comes together, but the riddle isn't quite solved yet.
Why didn't she tell us about him? Why didn't she tell us any of this?
I mean, it's fucking terrible. That's why. Allie, did we do the right thing opening this?
We did. It's better we know what happened, even if it's hard. And there's one more thing we need to see.
Are you sure?
Yes. Come on, let's go to the dock. It's time to finish this.
So before this mystery comes to its grand conclusion at the dock, you'll see that there are 4 other mini mural puzzles, and players can optionally, I know you can't see me right now, but I'm doing that with air quotes, optionally do them, which is another way of saying Don't Nod sometimes plays this dumb ploy of what I call the illusion of choice. Because, okay, let's think about this for a second. We just spent upwards of 20 or 30 minutes solving these 3 puzzles and then using those 3 puzzles to solve the mystery box, which gave us some pretty great payoff. And everything in one of those puzzles also revealed some juicy goss. Now they're saying you can go straight to the dock, or you can do these other 4 mini puzzles first. So what the fuck are you gonna do? Well, unless you hated this game and you're just trying to rush through it, of course you're gonna do those other puzzles. The only scenario I can imagine where someone just decides, fuck it, I'm not doing any of those side puzzles, is someone who overall didn't love this game. They started the game, and then by the time they got to this point, that sunk cost fallacy had gotten to them, and they're like, ugh, I have to see the game through, but I'm not going to do any side content. I just want to see how this fucker ends. That makes sense. Also, when I played the game a second time, I didn't redo the 4 puzzles because there is no story advantage to doing them, because I've already gleaned that information and I already recorded gameplay of me solving them. Yeah, the second time I skipped them. That's, I guess, another reason to do it, but that's a dumb reason that developers would make this optional. Of course you're going to do it. They might as well just make you do it since they made you do these puzzles. I don't know. I just think if you're the kind of person who really likes story-driven, detail-focused games, that'd be wild behavior of you to come this far and be like, nah, I know there's literally 4 other puzzles that undoubtedly will have juicy goss in them, but I'm over it. Let's go to the dock. I love this game so much. I'm just going to skip a major part of it because the developers gave me that option, and that's valid. This is dumb. Don't Nod definitely does this. Oh, well, we give you a choice. And it's like, yeah, and the one choice blows? So are you giving me a choice? For the sake of time, I won't go over all of the little details of these puzzles, but I will tell you what's in them. All right, let's do these in rapid succession. The first one is a handwritten letter from Eddie's mother to Mary Ann. Mary Ann was very close with Eddie's mother, and unfortunately she got sick and passed away. Before she passed away, she wrote a note to Mary Ann telling her that she appreciates everything she's done. She's so happy and grateful for her to have been there until the end, and she asks that she take care of and look after Eddie. The second puzzle is a draft of an advertisement that Tessa made, which reveals that Tessa was planning on opening a gift boutique shop featuring Mary Ann's artwork. And that is genuinely sad to see that things degraded between them so fast that this never came to fruition. It also shows that Tessa wasn't just trying to help Mary Ann, she was an active supporter of her life and her creative work, and really wanted the best for her. The third is a letter from Sam to Mary Ann, basically for him apologizing, although apologizing, I will say in air quotes, for coming on really strong with Mary Ann. It basically sounds like he made some kind of a pass at her and she turned him down. The note makes me uncomfortable because it has this real white knight vibe. You know, he's saying like, I stopped by, but you didn't answer. I hope I didn't ruin everything. I hope we can be okay. I hope we can still be friends. P.S. I know your car was leaking, so I put some sealant in there. You might need to take it to the shop. Let me know if you want me to come by and help with that. It's very... It would sound like he's saying, I understand and I'm backing off, but then also him working on her car while he dropped off this letter. Just, it's lines being crossed. This one makes me really uncomfortable, but it does speak further to how strongly Sam felt for Mary Ann. And now you can really imagine how poorly he would have taken that when he found out that she tried to kill her kids. And the fourth and final puzzle reveals a drawing that the kids did of their mom. I don't know, maybe they should have started with this one. The twins go to the dock and finally find out who their father is.
Tom Vecchi is our father?
Of course. It had to be him.
This revelation is definitely not that unexpected because there was only 3 candidates to begin with. And as we already went over, no way it was going to be a stranger because that would be absolutely meaningless. And through process of elimination, we can determine that it couldn't have been Eddie. He was very young at the time. And also, that would have been a strange reveal since he's been Allison's father figure this whole time. That kind of would have been useless. And it couldn't have been Sam because Allison asked him straight up and he said, no, but I wish I was. And he was also there acting as a father figure for a lot of their childhood. So that also would be such a useless reveal. So the fact that it's Tom is kind of obvious. And now when you look back on it, Tessa blurting out, oh, Mary Ann should have stayed out of other people's marriages. That really makes sense now because that was her getting heated about the fact that she knew that Tom had cheated on her. She might not have known that Allison and Tyler were his children, but she knew. So the evidence is all there. I'm not unhappy about this reveal, but also remember when I said in chapter 2, it's really weird that the person at the dock didn't have their voice altered? If you'd really been paying attention to the game, I mean, the guy who plays Tom has a pretty distinct voice, and that was his whole fucking voice. But also remember when I said I don't think they used his model? I really do think they cheated. And if you look at that model of the guy in the raincoat, that looks like Eddie. I feel like they really intentionally deceived us. That looks like a thin man with darker skin and a cut jaw. None of the qualities Tom has. I'm fully calling Don't Nod out on this one because they were like, well, it's going to be really obvious, so what should we do? Should we disguise his voice? Hell, because it's a distorted memory, should we even just give him a different voice actor? Or, you know, the voice in the style of the Mad Hunter, which would have made so much sense and wouldn't have let people in on the secret so early. But no, instead they just absolutely lie to the audience by using what really looks like a model of Eddie to me, because I'm also seriously doubting that they went ahead and made a whole brand new unique model for this cheat. But I know that's not Tom. So once Tom shows up, he essentially threatens them back, saying that he knows what really happened that night with Allison and the scissors. And if they expose his affair, which will hurt his mayoral campaign, he'll do that back to them. Father of the Year, everybody. And now we see that night from Tom's view, our third and final perspective. And this version paints a picture where Marianne was using that gun to kill herself. He sees her in the garage loading that gun, and then she looks out the window and he hides. And I guess Marianne has zero peripherals because she doesn't see him right there. And then he sees her get stabbed at the dock. In his version, Marianne also says, I'm not going to hurt you. And then she falls into the water, and then like a coward, he does nothing and he runs away. The mother of his fucking children.
No! No way! You're a fucking liar!
I saw what I saw.
You're manipulating us just like you manipulated her!
Once more, the twins head to the dock, where Allison states her confusion and points out the fact that all three of them seem to have differing memories of things. She also points out that when Tyler heard his mother say, I'm going to kill you, those were the exact words that she used against Tom on the dock as well.
She chased me. She said she was going to kill me.
She threatened Tom with those exact same words, with the same gun, on the same pier. The thing you said to Eddie the other day got thrown back at me. Don't you think it's possible that happened here too?
I guess it's possible. Fuck. I don't know. And we're never gonna know the truth, are we? Because the second you walk away from something, that's it.
Yeah.
I guess at this point, you just have to decide what you believe.
Me?
Yeah. You need to start dealing, Allie. And that means coming to terms with whatever version of the past feels the most true to you. No more running. Whatever you choose, you gotta live with it, okay?
And this brings us to our final decision of the game. Do you go with Tyler's version, where Marianne pointed a gun at him and tried to kill him? Or do you go with Tom's version, where Marianne loaded the gun to kill herself, and Tyler essentially caught her, which sent her into a panic? This decision has no effect on your bond, which is a way for the developers to say that both endings are valid, but I certainly have my thoughts on that, and we'll talk about that really shortly. So, allow us to see both those endings.
Oh, please. No, don't do this.
She was going to kill herself. Just herself. You interrupted her and we got confused.
Are you sure?
Yes. That attic. Tyler, that was meant for us. It was her way of explaining what she was going through. I made a horrible mistake.
Hey, it's okay. I'm here.
Tom was lying. Marianne couldn't face being separated from her kids again. And the only way to make sure that never happened was for all of us to go together. I know it in my heart. I saved you. I saved us.
I know. You did the right thing. You want to go back inside?
Yeah.
So whether you chose Tyler's version of reality or Tom's, Allison will understandably be shaken up after. But for some reason, not Tyler? I gotta say, I'm so confused by Tyler's characterization. He lived his whole life thinking that his mother tried to kill him for just trying to be who he was. But he's all happy to be home and he doesn't want it torn down. And he doesn't believe Tom's version where Marianne could have possibly just killed herself. And, you know, Allison is the one who used the scissors, so I get how it fucks her up even more. But why doesn't Tyler feel fucked up about this final decision? If you choose to go with Tom's version of reality, Allison will feel shaken up by that revelation, but Tyler comes in with a drink and is like, oh, why don't you have a drink? And she doesn't want to have a drink. If you choose to go with Tyler's version of events, Allison will declare that she doesn't want to use her voice, which leads to a bit of a fight between her and Tyler. I gotta say, I don't love how this turned out, because also one ending feels extremely more valid than the other. Choosing to go with Tyler's version of events literally takes a whole game about a mystery about what really happened, and then just eschews all that and goes, oh no, what happened is exactly what you think happened. And the only real reveal here is that some dude was their father and he was there. But that also did not affect how anything turned out. And then the other version is literally the reveal of the mystery and, you know, goes along with that whole theme of we can't trust our memories, and sometimes the way that we remember things is distorted by other experiences that we've had. It makes a lot more sense that Marianne was just pushed over to the edge and she decided to kill herself, not her kids. And that's why when she got walked in on by Tyler, she was all like, oh no, no, no. She was basically saying it wasn't supposed to happen this way. You weren't supposed to see this. And then she was calling him to stop. So talking about how this game has two major endings, this has got to be the only Don't Nod game where I'm really disappointed by the binary choice at the end, because one, for me, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, makes a lot of sense and has like a solid conclusion to a mystery, and the other is inane, flat, and also just kind of seems to rip Tyler and Allison further apart. And again, I really don't like that there's this uneven ratio of do you choose Tyler's remembering of things or Allison's? And in this final scene, I just kind of hate the ending where you choose Tyler's, because it definitely seems like Tyler's memories are really compromised. So making it a valid option to go with his version, after all of this, you're just going to go with, yup, his mother tried to kill him, case closed. It's like, well, that's how the fucking game started. So the real difference in this bedroom scene comes from the culmination of the strength or the weakness of your bond. In my very first gameplay where, you know, I knew nothing about this game, I intentionally worked towards bringing their bond together. Shocker, right? So in that version, Allison says, I think we should stop using our voice. And Tyler convinces her that it's not the right choice. And they decide that they are going to keep it brother and sister forever. Lovely, right? I think so. But if you tear them further apart, Allison will say, let's stop using our voice. And then they basically get into a fight about it. And Tyler's like, you're right. I don't want our voice anymore. I could use some time apart. Does that ending feel good for anybody? I'm going to go ahead and assume not, because why would you play an entire game about a brother and sister reconnecting just to intentionally trash their whole relationship and progress at the end? Yeah, I gotta say, I do overall love this game, and I loved the first ending that I got. So my first playthrough was overall very genuinely enjoyable. My second playthrough, where I intentionally made all of the wrong decisions, felt stupid, and it made the ending feel so cheap because it felt so artificial and cooked up that things end on such a sour note. It feels very manufactured because one gameplay definitely comes across as the thematically canon correct version, and the other just seems like everyone is kind of shitty because those are the only reasons you consistently make all of the worst options. Throwing away Eddie's ring, being rude to him when you meet him, not letting Tessa talk, being rude to her, dismissing her, saying she destroyed your family, disagreeing with each other on every single memory, turning down Michael, choosing Tyler's version of events, which in my opinion is also the worst ending, even though you'd think it'd be choosing Tom's version of events that would drive them further apart. I also think it's very weird that this final decision doesn't have an effect on their bond. This whole game, it's do you believe Tyler's memory or do you believe Allison's? And then the final choice is, do you believe Tyler's memory or do you believe their fucking deadbeat dad, Tom? And somehow choosing Tom's version of events doesn't make Tyler feel more distant from Allison, even though he was just saying at the dock, are you gonna believe all his bullshit? Well, I guess if you do believe his bullshit, it's fine. Y'all, I'm very conflicted on the duality of this ending. I love the ending where they realize that Tom saw it from a perspective where they didn't because they were children and they weren't privy to all of the insanely fucked up shit going on in her life, including the fact that she was just about to have Child Protective Services come and get her kids. And she seemed like a very manic person. So yeah, her loading a shotgun to kill herself and her having built that whole attic with all the puzzle boxes, which she clearly left for them, that all makes sense. And it also paints a portrait of a complicated but fiercely loving woman who just was at a tipping point, especially with her mental health. I think that really wraps up the mystery nicely, and it's a good solid ending, and Tyler and Allison get closure over it and ended up bonded. This other version of playing the game feels so antithetical to the plot, to the theme, to the gameplay, and to the whole idea of there being a mystery. Why would you create a whole version of the game where the mystery is that there's no mystery and exactly how they think it happened is exactly how it happened? How is that interesting for the game player? Yeah, extremely mixed feelings on this one, but then again, if you only play the game once and you play the good version of the choices, is what I'll call them, then it is a very pleasurable experience. But I gotta say, unlike most of Don't Nod's games, this one, I'm not going to say it lacks replayability, but I'm going to say it lacks the satisfaction of experiencing all those different outcomes, because there's really only two versions of here, and one feels very nice and one feels totally wrong.
One last look. I'm good to go.
So if you chose to go with the version of events that Marianne was aiming to kill herself and you end on a strong bond with Tyler and Allison, you will play as Tyler as he wraps up everything at the house, moving stuff, and is preparing to leave for the final time. You can sit at Leo's grave where Marianne buried him. You can sort through the photos and choose which ones to keep. You look at a newspaper that shows Eddie got a commendation and Tom lost the mayoral race, and then you have to send a few different photos of the empty space to Allison. And that's really it.
Hey, Aaron. It's Ty. Tyler Ronan. Thought I'd catch you on your break between sessions, but I guess you're going long with another rebel with too many causes. I know I haven't reached out since I left Fireweed, but I just wanted to say, well, you were right about grief. About it going in circles. This morning, I was out on the porch staring at the fog, and my mother, she just tumbled right out of me. But it was okay. It actually felt good to remember. Anyway, give me a call back if you get a chance. I'll see you around. And thank you.
If you chose to go with Tyler's version of events, and Tyler and Allison also end on a weak bond, you will play as Allison, and you will learn that she has now moved into the house, she has made it her own space. We see how she has taken Marianne's bedroom and really made it her own. We see that she is actively working on her visual art, which is really lovely. She calls Tyler and checks in with him. We learn that he is now doing what he's always wanted, working in nature, working at some kind of a park, apparently one surrounded by bears. She sends Tyler a progress picture of the work she's done in the bedroom. And finally, she sits down at her desk to work on the Book of Goblins, which she is apparently now adapting as an actual children's book. And that is about it.
Or as lonely as she was. A friend is someone you love and care for. Someone you would never hurt. Yeah, right. Once upon a time, in an ancient and deep forest, there lived a solitary goblin in a big wooden house. That goblin had not always been so solitary. She had a twin, and when they were younger, they were inseparable. Together, they rescued princesses and outsmarted ice trolls. But as she grew older, the goblin sister decided that she'd had enough of adventures. So while her brother went out to explore the world, she stayed behind as guardian of the big wooden house. For it is not on all of us to adventure. Some must stay behind to tell the story and to hold shelter for those who may come back and those who never left.
Playing Tell Me Why feels like getting a modern taste of what Don't Nod might bring to a new Life is Strange game today. It carries that same emotional intimacy and grounded storytelling the studio has become known for, but filters it through a more mature, reflective lens. The mystery at its core isn't just a hook. It's a richly woven, beautifully layered narrative that keeps you invested in every revelation. Where Tell Me Why stumbles, though, is in how its choices ultimately play out. For a developer celebrated for crafting meaningful, player-driven outcomes, the game's binary ending feels surprisingly restrictive. One version offers a heartfelt, hopeful resolution, while the other feels unnecessarily bleak and hollow, forcing a rift between the two main characters that undercuts everything you've built. It creates an illusion of choice that feels at odds with Don't Nod's usual strengths. Even so, Tell Me Why stands as a reminder of the studio's ability to craft stories that linger long after the credits roll, stories that make us question, remember, and feel. Thank you in joining me for this review and playthrough of Tell Me Why. This is one I was so excited to bring to all of you because I legitimately don't know if I ever would have played this if I hadn't started my YouTube channel. As a huge Don't Nod and Life is Strange fan, the most requested thing by a long shot from subscribers and commenters was to play Tell Me Why. However, as a lifelong PlayStation fan, I didn't think I'd ever get to play this game because I don't own a PC and I don't own an Xbox. But for this one, I really wanted to bring this to you. So I went out and I bought an Xbox One, and I am so glad that I did. So thank you for bringing this one to me. For my next video, I have something new, something different. I can't say too much because of certain agreements, but I will say that what I'm bringing you next is a review of a brand new game, of which I cannot really say anything about it other than this one has also been requested by my subscribers. And I am delighted to announce that this studio actually reached out to me. So you have that to look forward to, and not too long from now either. Until then, I hope you have some fun. I hope you get some rest, and I will see you all very soon.